Welcome to the next episode of the Brotein Bar, where we share bite-sized gains for anything bodybuilding and fitness. So today we are very happy to have Chun with us, the very, very well-known fitness entrepreneur that you usually see on social media. We'll let him introduce him to yourself. We'll let him introduce himself to you guys. So for the benefit of those who never heard of you before.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Chun. I run a fitness coaching business helping women in weight loss. So this is a running business for about 5 years. Of course, started off from the ground bottom as first from the bodybuilding scene, and then into freelance personal training for some years, and then launching my coaching program online with helping my niche, which is women in weight loss. And right now we're into business mentorship for fitness entrepreneurs to build a wildly successful fitness business online.
Can you share a bit of your experience? What makes the pivot actually when you were doing bodybuilding and then suddenly, then move on to trying to do freelance PT for specifically targeting for women?
Yeah. So long story short, it was a decision, a hard one, where I had to decide which route will I take to get to where I want to be. Of course, there was a lot of factors I needed to decide. Number one was financial. Number two was how practical it was. I was also a marketing dropout.
Okay.
So because of my competition, I was so deep into my prep, right? And then at that point, I wanted to be a full-fledged bodybuilder. And then, you live the American dream. You move somewhere. We all have
social media.
yeah. Then very soon, I realized I had to be more practical and wiser in my decision. And I also felt like maybe I didn't have enough genetics to really do well in the sport at that point, resources wise. Didn't have the resources to do all the the food, the supplements and stuff, and
to really go all out.
Yeah, to really go all out. So then I had to make a conscious decision to decide, like, okay, maybe not now. And then I figured that, if I'm not gonna do that, it means that I need to look for something else where I can feel I can at least build some stability. Financial wise, I need to acquire certain skills where it can allow me to survive first, and then before I can thrive in any sort of service or business I do, then only I can reach my end goal.
So want to at least allow yourself to have that kind of foundation first before you dare to dream.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. But how do you actually stumble across this specific niche then to really only specializing in weight loss for women?
So after I stopped my bodybuilding, I decided not to compete anymore. I was actually going through a period where I was lost. I was thinking about which route I should take. I can't do corporate. I can't do a normal job. I need to work for someone. What do I do? What do I pick? So I was going back and forth. I actually didn't like the word to be labeled as a personal trainer, because my family, my friends, people around me, they don't have a good impression towards being a personal trainer, including like family wise, So subconsciously, I couldn't agree with the fact that me going to take the route of being a personal trainer would actually make someone proud or amount to something meaningful or something I'll be proud of in the future. So I was like, I will do anything else except for being a personal trainer.
Okay.
Then I went out to the world, to the corporate. I was looking around like business, like sales, like marketing stuff, looking for my next path. And every time when I meet new people, the first thing that people ask me is like, are you a personal trainer? Are you a personal trainer? Can you train me? Can you get me in shape? So at that point, I was not going anywhere with my career, and I was getting all the comments from people. And I was like, maybe I should just embrace that.
Just try lah.
Yeah.
No.
So I screwed the job. I didn't even take my salary. I left the job.
Oh, wow.
and I just went on social media. I started a new social media account, but there's only 20 followers. That's where I began. I began posting. I began writing stories, in the ways that I knew, you see. And I got inquiry. So the inquiry was a girl. I said, "Oh, this is it." Then I called her for a meet over a coffee shop.
Okay.
And then I sat down with her. That was like a young me. That's when I was 20.
Yeah.
All right. Then there was a young me. Then I was talking to her. And then I was like, I need to close the first client. Otherwise, I can't survive, right? Then she told me she's been overweight. She wanted to get in shape. She lost a lot of weight, but she's still very flabby. And I'm like, okay, give me 3 months. We make it happen. Otherwise, I work with you for free.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's the offer that you cannot resist.
That's the offer, right? I work with you for free. So her goal was she want to fit into skinny jeans and spaghetti strap, and actually look like Beyonce. That's what she told me. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Then my first client came about. And then worked with her for 3 months. Boom. She got her result. She went for a major event. And she said that night when she went for the event, she fit into her first skinny jeans and the top that shows her shoulders and her arms. And she said she went into the event and everyone turned their back. The guys turned their back and looked at her when she passed by, like, "Who are you? Oh, you are you. Oh, that's you. Wow, you changed a lot." So she says she got an overwhelming response from the friends she didn't see for 3, 6, 9 months, and everyone couldn't recognize her. They took 30 seconds to recognize her.
The ultimate validation.
Yeah, and that's where it kicked off. And I got my first batch of new clients, over 20 to 30 of them.
Just by sharing her story.
Just from her.
Oh, from her.
Just from her, right? She referred a lot of people. Then turned out she's the PA to a local celebrity, which I didn't know. Right. Then
felt like it was meant to be.
then she hooked me up with her. We chatted a little bit, and then she became my client. So that was boom, double boom. That's where it kicked off, and it was the niche of women, weight loss, gen pop, beginners who wants to get in shape.
Then you basically work on that niche and continue to grow that particular niche to what it is now.
Yeah. So, and then that was what circumstances led me to naturally. And after that, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna make a name in fitness and fitness scene in PT, first, I knew that I will never be at a commercial gym. 2, I will never be a salaried PT in a local gym.
That is principle.
Okay. I can't see myself then
doing that. Yeah.
So I just leverage and I just focus on what I knew. Right. I just deliver the result to every client. And most of the clients came from Instagram. They came from Instagram. They were watching my stuff. They DM me, right? So from there, I noticed that, okay, I'm getting a overwhelming response from women.
Something is working for sure.
Yeah, it's like a guy, a PT wouldn't want to go that route because they feel like they can't pay, they can't connect with the clients. These are not clients that they are motivated to train, right? But it's quite the opposite. Turn out, they pay really well. They are very good clients to work with. They really follow through with the adherence, and they're very appreciative. And they're the kind, they will talk about me to their friends, family, and colleagues.
Would you say it's because there is a deeply rooted motivation behind this? That's why they are more likely to adhere. They are more willing to commit to it.
So I think number one is that they really had a strong pain and a great desire to change. And turn out that in the marketplace, we get a lot of fitness models, we get a lot of athletes, we get a lot of bodybuilders, we get a lot of commercial PTs, which cannot get in the same frequency with these female clients. Like nobody really pay attention to catering to their needs.
It's underserved. It's not because they don't understand or what.
It's like they feel that these trainers can't understand them. Maybe they're a little bit harsh. Maybe their exercises, the way they communicate with
They feel unattainable, very far.
yeah. So I immediately saw the gap in the market. So I just went straight in. I was just doing my thing. And it's like, oh, because my testimonials are all females. And it attracted, it snowballed to more females and more celebrities and more women. And I eventually become the women weight loss expert.
So in especially I think in the fitness industry of Malaysia, right, there is a common misconception, I would call it misconception.
Yeah.
Where there are fitness professional feels like they have not enough business, so they will do all kinds of business. They will just work with anyone who is willing to pay. And thereby, whatever they do in terms of positioning, in terms of the content, in terms of communication, trying to connect with the audience is really just for everybody. So, understanding that the value of having a niche, right? You know, understanding the pain points, showcasing that you are really good in one thing. How do you think that actually contributed to how and where are you going now also?
Okay. So I think the where I'm going, actually when I was on when I was doing it, I really asked myself a question, right? I asked myself, what do I want to get out of this PT career? I say I want to go far. Income wise, satisfaction wise, client result wise. And I also don't want to compete with others over a small crowd, a very saturated market. I think I'm glad because even though I was a failed marketer, I was a marketer naturally in my mind.
You still kept something.
Yeah, I kept something in me, right? So one thing about me is I really put my ego aside. I think what coaches and trainers really can pick up from my story is that whenever you do something business, you need to detach from personal and business. I was a bodybuilder. I was an athlete. I was a full-fledged. Even I may or may not look like one now, but yeah, I was competing at national level. So athletes come together with a kind of mindset like, I want this, a fixated mindset. And I only want my clients to be at the level where they represent me. That when I showcase my clientele to other trainers, they want to I feel proud. But to me, I don't need that, right? I don't need that. So I looked at the market and I asked myself, okay, if I want to go far, what do I need? I need to solve a big problem. So I asked myself, I weigh the pros and cons, like compared to a guy who can afford me is like 30 plus, right? 10 years ago. And a 30 plus year old guy who is chasing his career, building a family, saving his money for his new house, go on, save money for holiday with his girlfriend or his wife, as compared to a woman in their 40s, already at the top of their career, making at least 5 figures. They got children, they got husband. And I asked myself, who has a higher purchasing power? Women. Then I asked myself, who's got bigger pain? Men wants to get in shape and put on some muscle or feel the t-shirt, or women who is always constantly in pain, trying to lose weight with all sorts of solutions, right? And then frustration with all the insecurities. Who's got a bigger pain? Again, it's women, right? Then from there, I was like, okay, which one would be more meaningful to work with? I know how most men are like difficult to work with, right? Unless you have a name, it's like you do what I say, you have some sort of authority, which back then when I was 20 was a bit hard.
Yeah,
right.
Each does play a part, doesn't it? Yeah.
So I go in and in and in, and I got myself very clear with my objective, right? So that's how I continue. And from there, I quickly reached to a point where my calendars were filled. I was working 12 hours as back-to-back 12 sessions with maybe lunchtime break in between. That's to tell you like how big of a market there is that isn't being touched yet by trainers and fitness professionals. Why? Because they think all ladies are difficult to work with, full of
They cannot take
excuses.
it.
They cannot take it, right? For me, I want to look at the meaning of my work. Like I want to find meaning in my work. I want to look forward to my work. If I got a client who couldn't get pregnant because her body fat was very high. She did IVF, a series of IVF treatments. She couldn't get pregnant. She worked with me for 2 months. She stopped the program because she got pregnant. And she sent her screenshot of her newborn baby to me. Right? I got clients that save up money for a weight loss bariatric surgery. And she's like at the verge of going. Then she heard someone mention about my name and how I can prevent people from going to bariatric surgery. She came to me. She cried in the conversation with me. And I was like, I will go all out to help this person. So the pain was big. And the problem that I saw was big. Right? The reward is big as well. Because the bigger the problem, the more income you make. So I continued. Then I thought, okay, then screw what everyone else. Screw what others will think. If the bodybuilders and the fitness professional will look at me like I know nothing, like I'm a Herbalife guy, let it be. So let it be, because I'm not interested with impressing anybody but my clients.
Proving anything.
Yeah. So I went straight in. I didn't care about what others would think, and I started crafting my content, my message, my program philosophy, and how I do things. And I speak directly to the market every single day. And turn out that they love it. Yeah.
So that actually got you to where you are right now, lah.
Yes.
I guess what the fitness professionals, especially in our industry, can walk away with, one piece of advice coming from you would be really understanding that the pain point of the target audience. And doesn't mean that you have to have answers for everybody. But as long as you are able to solve a very significant problem, then they will be able to create a sustainable business out of this. And also really not put their passion on other people, focusing on serving the other people first before you actually trying to, too focus on income, the reality of things.
That is a spot on, right? Like at one point I started hiring trainers. I quickly noticed that calendars were capped, time was capped.
There's only so many hours in a day.
There was a ceiling to my income. And the only way to make more is if I turn it from a freelance business into a company and I start running it as one. So I started hiring trainers. And these bunch of trainers I hired gave me a bunch of problems. They are the hardest people to work with.
Why so?
They are unflexible. They have no interest in helping. I'm not saying all, the ones that are it help.
Last time.
they're just very very
oriented.
Very very narrow in the way they think. They can't see the bigger picture. Right, so that's where I came in. I was like, okay. I said, I spoke to the trainer. I was like, okay, what makes you want to take up my job offer? Because I want to make income. Cool. And if I were to say that you serve women, you can reach your income goal, as compared to you serve your favorite client. Every trainer has a perfect client in their mind they want to serve. An athlete or bodybuilder, you teach them hypertrophy, And I said, think about it. If they know how to train, if they have discipline, why do they need you for? They don't need you. You have to look at where the need is, and you have to adapt yourself to them. And they're like,
Really?
Then they have a problem like, they can't deal with women. They think they are fussy. They are like,
all this predisposition
Because they're not trained. They have a lot of
Is it because they never worked with the target audience before? That's why they are like uncertain, they're unsure how to navigate through.
I feel that it's a lot of things, and also I'm not saying all trainers. No.
Yeah, of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
If they're good trainers, they wouldn't be coming to me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they came to me because they needed clients. They don't want to do marketing. A lot of them don't want to do marketing. They want to do sales. They
Why
want
so?
to brand themselves.
Because unfamiliar?
I just say they're
Rigid.
very rigid. Yeah, they're rigid. So I can't see why they're like that until today.
It's still a common problem that is underlying in the
It is.
entire industry.
It is. Yeah.
The limitation most of the time is set by your own self, where you tell yourself, oh no, I can't do this. Oh no, I'm unwilling to do this more so than not. Then, but in order to really make a name out of the industry, you really need to put others first in order to make it fun. Right?
I think one of the things I can recall, the major changes I made in my mind was that, okay, if I'm going to speak to women, I need to appeal to them. So if I were to speak, if I need to appeal to the clients that I serve, my potential clients, I can't be in tank tops with veins on my bicep and my shoulders.
Intimidating.
I can't be in like Nike Pro tights and then like
Compression shots.
with tall dumbbells until here with the photo shoot like Jay Cutler on the Flex magazine.
Yeah.
I can't be that. But deep in my heart, there's a bodybuilder in me that wants to look like that. Because these are the people I look up to.
But what you want is not necessarily what they are looking for. So
Yeah. And that was one of the early things I learned. So I tweaked. I started wearing collar shirts. I started making sure my hair is on point. Facial, you need to smell good. Photos, not so much about gym. It's always lifestyle photos, show about my life.
more approachable compared to...
Yeah, because the general population, female clients, what they really want to see is that, who am I hiring? Let's say if you're very good at what you do, I see you online, but what is on the minds of the audience when they look at you on social media? If I'm the audience, I scroll 10 times. All your photos is gyms, quads, posing, meals, strict meals and all that. My first impression is, does he even have a life? If he doesn't have a life outside the gym, then how would he then understand what I'm going through? Because I don't live in the gym. Yeah. I have children.
This is not attainable. This is not what I want. This is not something that I will subscribe to.
So at the end of the day, my approach, like fitness, fundamentally fitness, should only result in one thing. It should result in better quality of life, more enjoyment, more freedom. You get more energy. You lose more body fat. You feel more confident. You feel more confident. You can wear better clothes. You can do more things that you never thought you could do before. You could eat food that you never have the courage. You feel like you can't eat them without feeling guilty. You start eating them. You get more energy. So the fitter you are, the better you live your life. The better your energy. The more you can do better things in life. It should empower you. It shouldn't take away from your life some more. You know, these clients are already stretched left, right, and center with their responsibility,
Other commitments and all that,
So then you expect them to commit to your program where you're gonna train them 4 days a week with a lot more commitments, and they're like, I don't know if I can do this. So then I begin showing my life, like I live every day. I start going out, doing a lot of things, like live like a normal person. And then they're like, oh, he does these things. That means he won't look at me like I'm not disciplined if I ask him, Coach, can I eat out? Coach, can I do this? Can I do that? So I think that is the angle that I went into.
Actually, using the content strategy that you put on social media as a testament of the lifestyle that you want to relate to your target audience is something that you are doing. I see. And I like what you said just now about how fitness is actually just a means to an end. At the end of the day, is the purpose behind all of the things that we are doing here is to have a better quality of life. Whether you want to move better, you want to enjoy better, you want to eat better, you want to travel more, you know, all that. Fitness is just a tool or a method to help you get there. So, I think that's what people are actually looking for. Especially when you're trying to do scale a business of PT also. But I think jumping off the thing that you were talking about just now about how the existing personal trainer, fitness professional in Malaysia is very rigid in that sense. What do you think is the one thing they should do in order to start to really understand or empathize the people or the clients that they will be working with?
Yeah, I think firstly, detach from self. I give a very simple example. We're men, we all go to cut hair, right? Back in my early days, I was looking for the right hairstylist. So once I find the same person, the right person, I will stick to the person forever. And the problem that turned me off with a lot of hairstylists, personally, is that whenever I go to the shop, instead of asking what are my needs, they impose what they think is good on me. And they're like, oh, one my hairstylist, I think you look good. But did I ask? I didn't ask. You know, I want to look a certain way. It's my hair. It's on my face. It's about what I do. Is how I want to look. It's not about what you think is trendy. Right? There was a hairstylist that he cut my hair, he cut a freaking skin on the side of this thing. I was like, what the fuck was that? What was that? I was like, I was pissed off. I walked off and I never went back. I never went back to that shop, right? However, right, I then I met a hairstylist, one guy, which I stick to him until today for years, many years. Now I go to him, I don't say a word. He cuts for me, and I go in 20 minutes. He knows my hair so well, right? But what is so impressive about this guy, right, is that the first time I stepped in, he asked me, what do you do? Wow. I say, I'm a fitness guy. Athlete. Okay. How do you dress? Even though I'm in the gym, I like to dress a bit smart. I like to wear jeans. I like to look smart, not too casual. Yeah. Okay. He's like, look at me from head to toe. And then he's like, okay, put some thoughts to it. Then he cut. Done. It's like, the reason why I cut this hair for you is because I look at your style when you step in, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way you talk. And then you tell me what you do, plus blah, 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 right? All this thing. And
about what you want also.
Yeah, about what you want and how you want to represent yourself, right? And who do you meet on a daily basis? This is the hair I feel best for you. And I love it. I cut the hair until today, right? So my point is that detaching what you want and looking at what the person you serve, what do they really want and what they need is the number one thing to better understand your client. If you don't understand your client, you can't serve them. If you can't serve them, no matter how good your service is, it becomes irrelevant to them. So that changed me. That changed my approach. So I put away a lot of things. I throw out all the program and stuff and die now. I throw it away and I made it something that all my clients enjoy, all my clients love, all my clients feel doable, and they love it. So that to me is I have served them at a higher level because the objective is met, is ticked. The satisfaction is there. They also feel someone understood her. Give another example.
Seen and heard.
Yeah. Give another example. I was on call last week with a client, with a new client. Then the first time on call with her, she's a doctor. And she is a general GP, and then she's going into aesthetics. After everything, we talked to her, she's like, I never heard someone spoke like you before as a trainer. I was already at the verge of going for a bariatric surgery. I said, why? Because she said that I went to all the renowned coaches that I knew. I don't know who. And none of them could tell me I could lose this much weight. None of them tell me what I need or what is the outcome. that I could get if I sign up. So I was like, oh, so I can't even expect to lose 2 kilos per month. If I say I want to lose 10 kg in 3 months, you say it's not realistic. Can I lose 2 kilos in a month? And they can't answer me. They say, oh, we can't guarantee you. You just need to follow through and see how it goes. And that really saddened me, because if I don't know what I'm getting, what is the end result, then why should I commit myself into? So my point is that with general population people, maybe what they want is not body recomposition. Maybe what they want is not lower body fat, and then they want to, all of these things. That is what we know. But it's not what, it doesn't make sense to their world. So we have to give them what they want. And then when they come in, we tell them what they need. So that is our part, because when they come in, I then have 12 weeks of the time where they already committed to me in a journey to become better. And I bought that time to really change the mindset. Because you need education, you need nurturing, you need explanation, you need to realign the mentality, you need to teach them how to think. And from there, it's like,
Because change takes time,
oh, I understand. But you want to do all that in the first time,
It's not realistic, yeah.
they leave. It's too overwhelming. So I always give them what they want.
In the language they understand.
Yeah. Then I tell them what they need.
Oh, okay. I believe this will give a lot of fitness professional here a very clear perspective of actually how do you communicate with the target audience.
But no, they're like, oh, he's very sleazy. He guaranteed clients to get this result. I'm like, do you even know what is marketing? See, if you give me this kind of feedback, it means you have a big problem. Not me, you, because you don't know marketing, and you are judging me from what I show on the front end, right? Then you got a big problem. Of course, I don't go about like correcting people, but I just do what I do, because at the end of the day, why should I waste time trying to please people who don't pay me?
And understand.
Yeah.
I think the approach are very subjective.
Yeah.
Different people can have different principles, different ground rules of how to approach this. But ultimately, I think what you were saying was very important, and it needs to be, we can't say enough lah. When you want to connect with the particular target audience, you need to pay attention.
Yeah.
You need to listen.
Yeah.
You need to understand.
Yeah.
You need to empathize. Then you will be able to answer their needs by your expertise.
Yeah.
Right? Then only you can help them.
Yeah.
And only when they feel like you can help them, they will only look for you or work with you, for the long run. So, yeah. So, thank you very, very much
Thank you
for your sharing. I think we don't get this kind of topic enough especially in this side of the world.
Yeah.
So, it's good to really talk to someone who is in the field and understand what works for them, and see if that would be able to inspire, motivate the next generation or people who are actually considering, venturing into being a fitness trainer also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And as always, stay tuned to the next episode of the Brotein Bar.
Stay tuned to the next episode of the Brotein Bar.